Hey, what is going on, you googly-eyed glammy out? Today we're playing some games with Mewtwo, but it's not just any Mewtwo list. This is the list that won the January Twitch sub tournament that I run every month for my Twitch subs over on Twitch. Check it out. First link in the description below to go check out my Twitch. I stream every day except Thursday over there. And the really cool card that is in here is the Moltres Zapdos Articuno-GX. With the Trinity Burn for 210 and the Sky Legends GX that does 110 damage to 3 different Pokemon, and then you shuffle the Moltres, Zapdos, Articuno back into the deck. Or if you are, excuse me, if you are using the attack through Mewtwo, you shuffle the Mewtwo back into the deck. So super cool addition to the deck. Not only is the GX attack super good, situational in good situations, but the normal attack, not the GX attacks, the Trinity Burn attack is super good to hit this 210 number. A lot of times with this deck, there is that kind of those awkward Pokemon to knock out, like something like a Boltund with 200 HP. You don't have a great attack to actually KO Boltund in this deck, unless you have your own Boltund and your Bolt Storm. If you have 7 energy and play and Bolt Storm gain to knockout, that's fine. But you don't want to like tag Bolt for 3 to use your GX attack to KO Boltund, or you don't full blitzing into Boltund also doesn't feel great. But if the situation comes up, Trinity Burn is actually a great answer to KO stuff like Boltund, or even 2-hit KO some stuff that has a lot of HP for sure as well. Also, this card can be super good against Colossal because it's got that fighting resistance, and then it also has 300 HP. And the biggest thing here is that it's not weak to fighting, but also it doesn't get shut off by Mimikyu. So if you can set this thing up, get to Aurora on it, and start swinging into Colossals with it, it can be super strong. The problem with that, of course, is that Colossal most of the time plays Crushing Hammer, so they can Crushing Hammer away your Aurora, so it can be hard to get 2 Auroras to stick on this in the Colossal matchup. But if you can get there, super powerful against Colossal as well. Yeah, it's a really cool option that Cole Lewis, the player who won the January sub tournament, had in their list. Another thing that I find interesting, I've never been a huge fan of, is the Incineroar-GX in here. I'm not sure if I would want to keep this around. Yeah, I've never been a huge fan of Incineroar-GX in Mewtwo. And the big card that's missing from this list that I've always really liked is that Greninja, or not Greninja, the Greninja here, the Vileplume-GX. I had Greninja on the mind. I looked at Greninja, I was like, Greninja, no, Vileplume-GX is not in here. I've always been a huge fan of the Vileplume-GX, and that's not in here. So we'll see how this build runs without the Vileplume, with the addition of the Moltres, Zapdos, Articuno, and the addition of the Incineroar. We'll just see how it goes. Just some Mewtwo action. Nothing really too crazy besides that from other Mewtwo lists. Overall, like from the last list that I showed you guys of Mewtwo, this is probably like 2 or 3 cards different, I think. So nothing too crazy, of course, but I'm interested to see if we can get value out of the Moltres, Zapdos, Articuno, and as well as the Incineroar. Does that ever come into play? And how much will I miss having the Vileplume? Will I miss the Vileplume a lot or not? Let's find out. Let's get into some games. All right, we're getting into our first one, and we will be going second. Excuse me. We do like to go second, whichever game. We like to go turn 1, Boltund into Electrify onto a Mewtwo, ideally. But depending on the matchup, we could go to Pikarom or something like that. And our opening hand's a little bit awkward. Looks like we're up against... Could be ADP, could be Luke. I guess it's probably ADP-zation. There's a great catcher in there, so it's probably ADP-zation. This matchup's fine. Nothing to worry about, really. A couple mulligans. Greninja in the hand, basic lightning now. It is Luke Metal. Okay, so Luke Metal, we have to remember they play that great catcher. That can be a pretty big pretty big deal. Now this hand is pretty bad for this matchup, specifically because we don't like discarding energy in this matchup. Energy is super important in this matchup to keep around as we top deck another energy. Gosh. I don't even know what I want to do here now. As far as an attack goes, I'm going to go ahead and let's just Cherish Ball, see what's in the deck. Incineroar, one matchup Incineroar actually is really good in this, this matchup. Incineroar is really, really good in this matchup. So that in particular could be super useful. Oh, man. Yeah, a Marnie in this hand would have been great. This is a little bit awkward. This is very awkward. I'm not going to lie. This is very awkward because we don't want to discard all of this energy. Very important that we try and keep all of this energy around. So I'm just gonna grab Mewtwo. Maybe they will get rid of the Greninja. Maybe they're gonna go ahead and Marnie us. That'd be very nice of them. If they Marnied us here, might be their only draw supporter and they want to progress their board state. They know my hand isn't dead because I did play Cherish Ball and I chose to grab Mewtwo instead of Dedenne. So they know my hand's not dead. I could very easily just have something like attach switch and then I'm gonna start swinging with Greninja. So maybe they have attached boss. this up and then just go ahead and punch it for with the Full Metal Wall, or punch it for 50, I guess, if they want to do that. But probably Full Metal Wall would be the better way to go about it. But oh, Power Plant. Okay, we only play one Chaotic Swell, so this is actually gonna get really awkward for us, and that means we can't Dedenne change anymore out of this hand. We could be in a terrible spot right here off the start. Here comes that research from our opponent. Yeah, so we can't. Oh man. All right, so we can't Dedenne change, and now we can't attack with Mewtwo. Power Plant, not super common in Luke Metal, but it's definitely working out for my opponent here. They also play Fion, and they're gonna force my Mewtwo up here, and now they can GX attack it and fully remove that energy. I don't even know what to do. We're in such a terrible spot now. Hopefully we top deck a Marnie, and then can get out of this situation. Yeah, here comes a Whirlpool Suction. Here comes, I would assume, Full Metal Wall, but they could just go for a Steel Fist. But yeah, here comes the Full Metal Wall. Okay, Marnie would be a great top deck. Chaotic Swell is not bad as well. Okay, so Chaotic Swell in. Aurora. I guess we're just going to have to go ahead and Dedenne change at this point. I don't really feel like we have a choice. It stinks, but what you going to do, you know? All right, Dedenne change. What do we get? Not a ton of great options. Put the Peak down, switch into the Dedenne, and then go ahead and Crobat, and maybe we can get another switch card, or a Marnie into a switch card. Yeah, and then go ahead and Crobat. We could at the very least hit with Greninja this turn. There's a research, but I don't want to lose 2 more energy, man. That is not what we're all about here. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and thin out the Incineroar. Like I said, super good in this matchup. All right. I gotta decide what I'm doing. I think we have to hit this turn, though. It feels really bad if we don't hit this turn. So I'm gonna bench the Mewtwo, and goodbye, 2 more lightning energy. I was hoping for a Marnie or just a switch card so I could just move. And okay, we got the switch card, so we can attack this turn. That's important. And something really cool about Greninja in this matchup is it hits through all effects on our opponent's active Pokemon. So we're actually gonna hit here for 130 damage, which sets up a 2-hit KO on the Luke Metal. Despite the Metal Goggles and the GX attack used, we still do 130 damage. Greninja's missed / ignores all effects, so super cool attacker in this matchup for that reason. Not always necessary to use in this matchup, but in these kind of situations it really is great because super efficient attack for the 2 energy. All we need to do is find the Aurora, which can be a little bit hard to find sometimes, but once we get that, we're usually just cruising. And yeah, we're in an okay spot now. We're in an okay spot. They do have the 2-hit KOs set up on us right now, where they can hit us for 50 with Steel Fist into Zacian actually KOing us with that Brave Blade. So that is, I mean, nothing we can really do about it. We're just gonna have to go ahead and take that hit probably. See what our top deck is. Another energy. So I want the Aurora here, and if I did get an Air Balloon, I would KO with this Mewtwo instead. I don't think I can give up this energy, so I think I'm gonna go like this, get rid of the bird, and I'm gonna go ahead and Marnie. I don't think I can afford to research another energy away there. I can't run out of energy. Okay, we got the Air Balloon, which is great. A lot of energy in the hand, but that's not that big of a deal. Treats, and we're just gonna go ahead and take this knockout with the Mist Slash. Okay, and then we could use Darkest Energy-GX would be doing 260, so not quite a knockout. This effectively has 280 HP. Yeah, we'd only be doing, did I math that right? 250, 260. Yeah, so 5 times 50, 250 plus 10, 260. So yeah, this effectively is 280 with the Metal Goggles and the GX attack. They got their Great Catcher. We just talked about their Great Catcher as well at the beginning of the game. I was like, all right, they play the Great Catcher. That's going to be annoying. It is annoying here. Here comes the Research. Another good GX attack in this matchup is actually the Miraculous Duo GX. It can be a little bit hard to set up. And actually, did our opponent whiff energy here? They're playing a little bit slow. They could have Switch plus Metal Saucer, though. No, they didn't whiff energy. Okay, they're chilling. Yeah, they're in a pretty good spot. Yeah, Miraculous Duo is actually a pretty good GX attack in this matchup. I don't know how many basic lightning I have left in the deck. We do play 10. There's 3 here, 4, 5, 6. It's possible we could get off a full blitz. Put a decent amount of energy in play here, actually. I could even Marnie these to the bottom of the deck, so that way we can full blitz those 2 out. But I should attach 1, and then I'll Marnie the other one onto the bottom. So there's guaranteed at least 1 energy in there, and this might plus it up, the amount of energy in the deck, by +1 into the deck now. So we drew 1, threw 1 in, so it didn't really change anything. And, do I want to full blitz here? I could full blitz to my other Mewtwo as well, to try and set up another attacker I could run into, like run away to. And I think I will do that. I could throw it all here for like a Tag Bolt, but that doesn't seem too ridiculously strong. We could still Tag Bolt with this other Mewtwo as well because I have 3 energy left. Yeah, Tag Bolt's usually not too ridiculously good in this matchup because of all the damage reduction going on. We're usually not doing as much damage as it looks, and something like the crushing, or not the crushing punch, like the darkest tornado is super good in this matchup for sure. That one's a really good one in this matchup. This guy's not as good as well. Once again, that reduced damage. Already on our damage a little bit too much. We have to hit a little bit harder. Like Raichu's GX attack is usually pretty good here as well. Like Raichu's GX attack actually one-hit KOs this Zacian. So we could go for something like that actually, where we would go into this Mewtwo. If we get the Aurora on this Mewtwo plus, so attach Aurora, and then, yeah, if we can get the Aurora attachment here, our last Aurora here, we actually KO this Zacian with the Greninja attack right now, which is another cool 2-hit combo there. Full Blitz for 90 into the Greninja for 130 against a Zacian is super good. It allows us to use full blitzes, but then also still set up for the 2-hit KO, which can be kind of hard to do into a Zacian. It can be kind of hard to 2-hit KO a Zacian. It looks like their hand is pretty much dead here, actually, overall. They don't have a whole ton of stuff going on. And they're just gonna have to Intrepid Sword. So yeah, we get the KO here, and then this one doesn't have a Metal Goggle, so we can actually KO this next turn. See what our top deck is. It is a Dedenne. Now I wish I had all my energy on my active here, to be honest, but we don't, so we have to deal with that. I'm gonna go ahead and attach to the bench. Seems better. All right, let's go with the bench, and then go ahead and use that Miss Slash. Like I said, it gets to knock out. Super cool 2-hit combo there, because like full blitz doesn't quite cut it. Full blitz tandem shock doesn't quite cut it either, but the full blitz into the Miss Slash does do it. And now we're in a really good spot, I feel like, as our opponent only has the one Zacian with an energy. We actually have the boss in hand here to force this into the active if we want to. There's their attachment for turn. We have 1 prize card left. We can always just KO the Fion as well, but I assume they're going to use Fion here. I don't think they would put Fion in play and then not use it. So I assume Fion's getting used here. But like I said, we're just an energy away from KOing a Zacian that doesn't have a Metal Goggles. Here comes another Zacian into play. This one also doesn't have Metal Goggles. Take a look at them. 2 sets of Metal Goggles. Here comes the Whirlpool Suction. We're just going to send up the other Mewtwo with the 4 energy. If they want to hit it with Brave Blade, if they have like Retreat, Metal Saucer, Switch, that's fine. Then we just can use Research even to dig for the energy. There's the Marnie, though. We have 3 bosses orders left and 2 energy, I believe, left. Yeah, I believe we have 2 energy. There's one. There's the boss. So we literally have the 2 cards we need. We don't have Raichu yet, though. And I'm not going to lie. I don't remember if Raichu's in the deck or not. But if they ever hit our Mewtwo, we can just respond with, we haven't used our GX attack yet, and I don't know if they realize this, but we do have access to that Darkest Tornado, and okay, they made it a little bit easier for us. We can just Darkest Tornado now and take this thing out for, this a lot of damage. Let's go ahead and find it. Darkest Tornado GX. Goodbye, Zacian. You're never coming back. Yeah, 1,130, and from a really rough start and an early power plant from our opponent. Clean top deck. We discard a lot of energy. No Electrify. But that Greninja doing so much work. And that's why it's so good in this matchup. And we pull out a dub. Okay, so we just had an insanely cool, what felt like a comeback against the Luke Metal deck. I guess it wasn't like they weren't drawing terrible or anything. But it definitely felt like we made a comeback in that last one. Now we're up against, Eternatus. So this is a tough matchup. We have plenty of options in the matchup. Plenty of routes to take. But it definitely is a tough matchup. Very hard to deal with consistently. One really cool card in this matchup is actually that Zapdos Articuno, because if they have like enough little dudes on the bench, we can kind of just like go focus them down and take them out. So they got a Crobat off that Quick Ball. We definitely want to put Sirfetch'd in play. I kind of just want to research, to be honest, because we really want to get that switch card and that Boltund here. Pretty much the whole squad is there. Go ahead, throw an Aurora. The Coco Prism was there. Yeah, we really just want to hit a switch card here and use Electrify. All right, there we go. Second Mewtwo could come down. I don't have to put it down, but I think I will put it down. And I might even Electrify to this Mewtwo instead, because if they don't get a ton of bench Pokemon in play here, and I want to go for the full blitz on the next turn, if I want to go for that full blitz on the next turn, then I can pretty cleanly use it. Like if they go... What I'm saying here is like, all right, let's say they don't get like a full bunch, but they get like 2 Goon Pings on this guy, so it's at 240, and then they whiff by 1 basic Pokemon. They still KO this one, but that means they wouldn't KO this one unless they have like 3 Goon Pings. And there's a Power Plant. Okay, so we're in big trouble, man. Big trouble, big trouble. Yeah, we'll see how they draw, but this is not good for us. We only play the 1 Chaotic Swell. Maybe I should bump it back up to 2 Chaotic Swell. Maybe that would be a good change. Like power plants, two games in a row, 2 power plant decks. What? Who plays power plants? So what is our game plan? Definitely want to get the Aurora on the Sirfetch'd. They did whiff for a turn, so this is a big deal to set up our Sirfetch'd. Definitely a big deal. Definitely a big deal. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and attach the Aurora to the Sirfetch'd. We might just electrify again this turn, and we could even hold the hand. That wouldn't be terrible. We have to discard something. Let's get rid of the Greninja. I could like bench this Boltund even and electrify to it, and then go from there. Like just bench and electrify and save this energy. But I want to attach Aurora next turn anyways. I don't know if I want this Boltund, to be honest. I don't think so. I think Sirfetch'd is gonna kind of cover that spot for us. There's that Chaotic Swell. So we're getting lucky on the Chaotic Swell hits for sure. We're getting very lucky on these Chaotic Swell hits. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw down. We don't have any attacking options for our Mewtwo actually. So I think it is just gonna be another electrify. So I'm gonna throw down the Swell. I'm gonna put an Air Balloon on this. Actually, I split the energy 2/2 on each Mewtwo probably. We could KO this with Sirfetch'd here, but I don't really like that. I kind of like leaving Sirfetch'd on the back burner, letting him simmer. So I think I'm just gonna electrify. I will put an Air Balloon like on this Mewtwo, I think, and I'll split 2/2 on each Mewtwo. Electrify, yeah. Now they didn't have what's it called last turn? They didn't have a way to switch this thing last turn, so they might have a way to switch it this turn. And in that case, we're going to be in a really good spot. They do play Crushing Hammers. Okay, thank goodness. I just saw that first Crushing Hammer there. So they can target our Aurora energy and then make it so it's really hard for us to actually use the Sirfetch'd at all. That is one of like the problems with the Sirfetch'd. It's just sometimes really hard to use because a lot of decks play Crushing Hammers. The threat of it is nice, and it does kind of force our opponent's Crushing Hammers to go after our Aurora energy. That was a mistake there from our opponent, almost certainly. Going after this Aurora energy. I feel like they definitely should have gone after this one. This kind of makes me wish I had kept this Boltund, because then this turn I could have gone Air Balloon, have the Boltund on the bench, Koko Prism, and actually knock this thing out with my other Boltund, and that would have been actually really clean. I probably should have benched it, to be honest. Second Boltund is like, it's so much better than I give it credit for, and right here would have been actually really sick. Pretty good draw. Power plant bumps out. If they have another power plant, that's when we really get into trouble. So hopefully they don't have that. We could go for a Full Blitz this turn, but Full Blitz does not feel ridiculously good. Here comes another Crushing, and that's what I'm talking about. Our Auroras are completely removed from play, and here we are. Completely gone. They get the switch, so the Eternatus is coming up, and yeah, we don't even have the threat of the Sirfetch'd anymore. They're going to get this knockout, and we probably just have to go into Raichu mode, where we just kind of paralyze our opponent's active, and then hope it sticks, and then kind of come up with a game plan after that. I think we're just going to go into, to Raichu mode. They don't have a ton of cards in hand. They are down only one switch, though. But, yeah, it's matchup stuff. This is one of the reasons it is so tough. I'm going to go attach to the Raichu here. And then, yeah, Dedenne Chain before we get power planted out. Use the Mewtwo first and then have the Raichu kind of on the back burner here. We have a Marnie, but I don't want to play it because they did just kind of have a subpar turn. Overall, we have a lot of energy in play. We can't utilize a lot of it though because I don't have the Boltund in play or anything. So yeah, Tandem Shock, paralyze it up, and we'll go from here. If they get a switch knockout, we can go Reset Stamp, Tandem Shock again, and then knock it out on the following turn. Hope they don't have like energy plus basic, but they could have the energy like as soon as this turn, and then we're kind of in trouble. There's the switch. Okay, so my Mewtwo goes down here. All right, but this is kind of the way the game goes. We have Reset Stamp plus Dedenne change, so that's what we're gonna do here. Reset Stamp them to 1, and this is just how this matchup goes. And this is how we either get some kind of early advantage. We're able to use Sirfetch'd. We weren't able to use Sirfetch'd this game. Another Cherish Ball, so we can thin out the whole squad here, which is really nice actually. So it was like a decent energy. Would have been a better top deck, but this one is not a bad top deck. We get to put literally everything in the discard pile, and I could try and get into triple KO on the bench still. It's going to be difficult, but here, yeah, it's our stamp to 1. This is our game plan. We stamp them to 1, we Dedenne change, and we hope for the best. Let's see. No energy yet. That's fine that we have this Crobat. I want to save the switch and research versus Marnie. I can't research next turn, so I have to keep the, what's it called here? I could get rid of the Marnie as well. Actually keep the switch. Yeah, just thin it all out. Our other reset stamp is prized anyways, so we just need to switch to get back into the Raichu pair. Potential for paralysis later on in the game, not earlier on in the game. Quick Ball versus Cherish Ball. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the Quick Ball, and then yeah, we got the Treat and Tandem Shock. And then we basically just have to like kind of YOLO knock this thing out and then hope they don't have basic energy. They have these 2 cards to work with. I have another card next turn to work with. There's just the pass back. So we basically just have to go. I could put Aurora here. I could even put it here. Huh. I don't think it really matters where I put it. If I switch into the Sirfetch'd, if they draw a prize card, they win. Having it on the Sirfetch'd versus having it here doesn't make a huge difference, I think. But now I can use my GX attack if I'd ever want to. So yeah, here we go. Tandem Shock. Take the knockout. Hope our opponent just kind of doesn't have anything. If we top deck a boss and get an energy off our prize cards, which I don't even know if there's any energy prized, we actually can win the game by KO in their other Eternatus VMAX. We have another stamp, which is great. So now they have a 3-card hand. We can make it back down to a 1. There's a calm though, so Crobat is on the way. So they're just an energy short here, and I'm sure they have plenty left. Yeah, 3, 4. They got probably play around 10. Reset stamp of their own here coming out. We got the boss, we got the switch. So if we can top deck an energy here, and they do not find an energy them, and there it is. All right. So kind of expected, tough matchup. Crushing Hammers really did us in there, and we take an L here in this one. But you know, we did what we could. We got close. We needed them to like dead draw for 1 more turn. Like I said, if we top decked, we didn't get an energy off the prize cards. But in that hand, if they whiffed and then we got energy, that's a lot to ask for. It was never happening. We lost. Okay, back into another one. Hopefully not against an Eternatus Crushing Hammer deck. That would be great. Would we like to go first? No, we want to go second. Yeah, Eternatus without Crushing Hammer is definitely a different story because Sirfetch'd is a way more of a threat. But when they play the Crushing Hammers and they get like 1 or 2 heads on some Auroras, we basically lose the option of Sirfetch'd pretty fast. And yeah, it kind of snowballs away from us. But hopefully in this game, no more fetched. Got the Raichu start. Quick Ball for Boltund, and then we can Crobat for some cards to hopefully find a switch card and get this thing out of the active, get into that Electrify. And we'll see what our opponent's playing here too. All right, Mad Party. They play Mew, which means they prevent our, what's it called here, the Bird Trio potential, which I don't like, because Bird Trio sounds really sick in this matchup. We could still go for it though. We should still go for it, I think, actually, for sure. So let's give up a Lightning here. And I think we want to try and set up the Bird Trio with our Boltund. So we're going to grab the Bird Trio. We're going to bench it. We're going to bench Boltund. We don't want to set up Mewtwo in this matchup because it is weak to Psychic, which Poltegeist, believe it or not, is Psychic type. Oh, no. We don't want to lose an Aurora, but we do want to Electrify this turn. So we're kind of stuck in a pickle. We don't want to lose the boss either. If we just had a switch here, could have gone like a switch instead of like the Naganadel would be perfect. We switch into the Boltund, we Electrify for the turn to the Bird, then we attach the Boltund, boss KO that. I don't know, but now we have to just go ahead and Dedenne change, and it feels so much worse. And now we need like so many Auroras to like pull this play off. We can still get there. I don't want to Marnie them because they kind of didn't do anything this turn, but yeah, we're just gonna go with this. We have only 2 Auroras in the deck, so we're still gonna go for this play, but we are a ways away from being able to make it work. So that is a little bit scary. Yeah, I don't want to Marnie. They basically did nothing on their turn 1, like no Sinestes down or anything. So their hand might not be dead here. We see they have the Roxy, but I just think there's a fear that I give them like a better hand with the Marnie. So it looks like they had like a pretty clean. They play Crushing Hammer in Mad Party. Isn't this deck clunky enough? Do you really got to play Crushing Hammer? What is this? All right, only 20 damage though. That's what they get for playing Crushing Hammer in their Mad Party. Don't need Cherish Ball for anything. Just go ahead and Marnie. Try and find an energy. Could have Dedenne change there, but my bench is getting a little bit clogged already, so I don't want to do that. Got a Lightning, so we're just going to go ahead and Bolt Storm, and they probably can't KO my Boltund, to be honest. So we got time to find those Auroras, and we do have 1 prize as well, so we could even pull it off the prize cards here. They probably, I'm going to go ahead and just go and guarantee it. They're not going to KO my Boltund next turn. Did not get there, so we want to dig really hard for this Aurora on the next turn, because we want to get those 2 Auroras in play. It's not as good as it is, though, because they do play Crushing Hammers. So it might be really hard to set this thing up the more I'm thinking about it. Although Crushing Hammers is not something I expected in Mad Party. So, I mean, I guess here we are. And it's going to be hard from here on out, I think. Because I've gone down this route of setting up the Bird. But it turns out we're up against Mad Party with Crushing Hammers. So, Yeah, here we are. Here we are, and I don't want to be here. And all right, Marnie for my opponent. That's not Research or Roxy, so that's like just like good for us. Bad for my opponent. We got Boss Koko, so now we can actually Koko, and I can go to set up the Raichu here instead, and we can actually Boss KO the Oricorio. Not only do we get 2 prize cards, but we take away a lot of their draw power. Other heads on the Crushing Hammer. All right, off my active, that's fine. Yeah, I'll go ahead and Koko here to... Okay, thank goodness. I would like a switch here, actually, so I can Koko to the Boltund. Actually, that wouldn't really work out the way I wanted to, would it? No, not really. Yeah, we definitely don't want to KO a Mad Part here, because that increases their damage. I do want to get rid of the Mew eventually, but getting rid of their draw power here seems essential. Okay, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay, so this does work out. This guy, and... I don't want to put it on the Bird Trio, really, because he doesn't really need a third Lightning. So I could throw it on Dedenne even, actually, to be honest, to create a pivot. But they do play Crushing Hammers once again, so I guess Bird Trio it is. And then attach. Yeah, pretty good draw off of that Marnie for us. Like, my turn synced up so well with our turn. It sometimes just happens. I guess the best way I can think about it, it just synced up really well. Reset Stamp is good for later, not great right now. There's the Aurora Energy. That's what we really wanted here. Now, 3 Aurora in the deck. But we're getting to the point where it doesn't even matter if we make this big bird play, because our opponent has drawn so slow, and yeah, so slow in the beginning of this game. We really just need to take 2 more KOs, or 3 more KOs. And this Boltund, I don't think is going down even this turn. They also play a Cincino line in here, so they've literally got everything in here. It's literally everything. Literally everything is in this deck. I can't name a thing that isn't in this deck. There goes the T-Break. And they've already played, they played a Research there, right? Yeah, so they've already played their Draw Supporter, and they're only hitting for 80 damage right now. They need to come up with 5 more Mad Partiers into the discard pile. I guess it is possible with Dead-Eye Change. I mean, they've got a 7-card hand, so if they Dead-Eye Change away 5 right now, it would work. But there's the Mad Party on my Boltund, only for 80, and we're, once again, still chilling. We have a Dedenne left, right? Okay, so Aurora to the Bird, Research, draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nothing particularly good. Bolt Storm for the knockout. No Aurora in the prize cards anymore. There's a Quick Ball, but this double Lightning in my hand I don't really like. I'm not a big fan of having 2 Lightning Energy in my hand. If we get the Aurora, though, we're basically just Trinity Burn away from winning the game. Here's that last Crushing Hammer, and it is a head, so my Aurora is definitely hitting the discard pile here. So I could just, like, tank with the Bird for a turn, attached to Raichu pass, and then attached swing, and then Raichu should be able to close out the game by itself, to be honest. So I don't really need to attack. My whole Bird strategy kind of going out the window here, and just not gonna happen, I guess, at all. So yeah, I can just go tank with Bird, attach to Raichu pass, and then get back into it. That kind of stinks. I was really looking forward to trying to pull off this whole Sky Legends play, and then turns out my opponent is playing Crushing Hammer in their Mad Party deck. So that's cool, I guess. All right, Stamp down to 2, so who knows what we're gonna be able to do here. Almost a cleaner draw there overall. Our opponent still hasn't found an energy yet. Now that they put the Dedenne in play, we can just try and go Tandem Shot KO Dedenne over 2 turns. They are out of Crushing Hammers. Now they're out of Crushing Hammers, so they can't KO anything anymore with those. So we're gonna send up the Raichu. I guess it's possible they Gust knock out Raichu next turn. They're doing 100 to 20 here, so if they get 2 more in the discard pile, which they have like a Dedenne left and a Mr. Rhyme left. So I kind of do want to go still set up my Bird, because they can't KO my Bird. So we could go about it that route, to be honest. I'm gonna thin out this thing, I guess. Just Mewtwo's are kind of useless here. We'll see what energy we draw into, I guess, as well. Like, we don't really have a choice depending on what energy we draw into. Just thin out the Mewtwo's again. I could use Boltund to electrify this turn, actually. That would be fine. Got the Aurora. So I guess it is going to be Aurora to my Bird, and then leave Raichu in the active. Or we could leave the Bird in the active and then even GX attack next turn to get it out of the active if we have to. And put the energy back in the deck. That feels so weird as well, though. None of this feels great. I don't like the position we're in actually at all. The way this game is actually, with those Crushing Hammers, have just been so insanely annoying. I could attach to the Raichu because it's more likely, but then if they just KO my Raichu, I just don't have a win condition anymore, it almost feels like. They just need to get rid of Dedenne and Mr. Rhyme. They have a Bunny left as well. They could easily, and they only have 2 cards left in their deck. So it's definitely very possible. How many Quick Ball do they have left, actually? 1. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and attach this here. I know this would live for a turn. Maybe I can just, like, stall them out even. What if I just go, like, I don't know, retreat to my bird and pass? Because I can just Sky Legends and shuffle it back into my deck, even if they hit my bird this turn. If they don't hit my bird this turn, that's even better. So we'll see what they do. Yeah, the Mew, once again, I don't like that guy. So there's a discard to Mr. Rhyme. Can they discard another one, though? Because if they make do, they actually deck out. They have one of these left and a bunny left. They have 2 left. 2 Mad Partiers left. They only have 1 Quick Ball left that they already used, though. So maybe they could never actually KO my Raichu, and I could have left Raichu in the active, and it would have been safe, to be honest. I think I could have maybe. I think I could have maybe left it in the active there. Because I don't think they could actually discard another Mad Partier. There's the boss on my Crobat, though. Oh, they could always just go chase Crobat, chase Dedenne, though. I guess my thought was, like, I don't want him to chase my bird. Okay, here we go. If they have another Gust Effect, they do just win the game. I do have a Reset Stamp left. I think I do. Okay, so we can go like this, then out. Mewtwo, I guess. I mean, they don't have any what's it called left, so we could leave the Mewtwo. I'll just go and take the Mewtwo. I think we just have to go boss up the Dedenne. And they could also, I could also trap the Dedenne in the active as well, actually. It's possible. And then boss up Dedenne, Dedenne change? I can't think of a better play. Okay. So I guess that is the move here. Thin out this again. Grab. I don't know, thin out the Boltund. I don't think we're ever using Boltund. Boss up Dedenne. And Dedenne change Aurora Energy one time? Maybe? No. Okay, so we can go Stamped 2. They don't have a ton of cards to work with anymore. I can't leave this in the active, though. I think that's too risky. So we got to leave this in the active. I can't believe we're really about to lose this, man. All right. Pass over to my opponent. The Crushing Hammers, man. If I had set this up differently, we also would have been fine. If I just like made this a Pikarom, I think we would have also just, well, we would have just won. Like, we would just tag ball KO the Dedenne this turn. Like, my energy was in more useful places. I just didn't expect Crushing Hammer in Mad Party. That's just kind of not what I expected. So yeah, that really did us in. There's a Marnie. We can GX attack to go under, but that's not great. Oh man. What do we have left in here? Peak. Go ahead and thin this out of the deck, I think. And then Marnie, I guess. But I don't even see a win condition for us anymore. Can we even win this game? I could GX attack, but they KO anything. I guess if I had left the Mewtwo around. I think Mewtwo actually is a little bit tankier than this. That would have actually made the difference, right? 260, yeah. And then if the last Dedenne is in the prize card. So I should have left the Mewtwo around, to be honest. So that's a mistake on my part then. Marnie, but I don't see a win con for us. I still don't see one. I can finally Trinity Burn, but they KO anything in play with the next Bunnelby. Do they KO this currently? They do 260, right? Yeah, so if I could, what I could have done is I could have had Mewtwo here, switch into Mewtwo pass after Marnie, and then they could just deck out. If they don't have a Gust effect, they go draw, hit, and then I went through deck out. But I didn't save a Mewtwo. I should have saved a Mewtwo. It has more HP than the Pikarom. And now I think we're just losing through Sky Legends. Yep. Crushing Hammer in Mad Party will defeat me here. I wanted to use my bird, so I was like, all right, let's electrify to the bird. And then it turns out my opponent plays Crushing Hammer, completely prevented my bird from ever getting set up. That last Crushing Hammer they hit was actually pretty much it, right? If they didn't hit that, we would have had 2 Aurora, would have KO'd Dedenne. Not this time. Yeah, and Mad Party will do me in here for 280. Wow. All right. Next time I'm playing against Mad Party, I guess I'm going to go ahead and play around Crushing Hammer. And you guys should take note of that as well. See you tomorrow.